Hi students, my name is Dr. Alicia Baker and I will be your instructor for Library Media 5123, which is Advanced Administration for Library Media Center. I wanted to take a minute since this is our first day of classes and go over a few things with you, including the syllabus, Blackboard, and kind of my expectations and what you're going to be looking forward to for this semester. This course is facilitated completely online, so we will not be meeting face-to-face at any time during the semester unless you would like to meet with me. If you would like to meet with me on an individual basis, please feel free to email me and we can set up a time to meet. But otherwise, everything will be conducted online, and I will create several of these videos throughout the semester just to kind of discuss what we're looking at in our text, go over things for you, address any types of misconceptions that you may have. So when I send these videos to you, please do watch them so you can see kind of what I'm thinking or what needs to be done. So first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at our Blackboard, and everything will be facilitated for this course through Blackboard. You apparently already know how to get there, or this video, I guess you can, where you've seen this video. But let's go ahead and look and see how I've set Blackboard up. If you've taken a course with me prior, then you are kind of familiar with how I do things, but still watch this because there are a few differences each course. So let's go ahead and look on here. We're going to start with the Start Here button, and this just gives you a little bit of information about the course, what the expectation is. It is divided into learning modules. You'll look at one module per week, and then in each one there are focuses as well. This is important because initial posts are due Fridays in response to 2 group members and response back to at least one peer who responded to you, for a total of 4 posts for each discussion board. Those are due on Mondays. So you'll have your discussion boards due on the Friday of that week, and then your responses are going to be due to Monday. That gives you an opportunity to have the weekend to work on those responses. The remaining assignments are due on various dates, so be sure to check your tentative schedule on the syllabus, and I'll go over that with you. But all assignments are always due by 11:59 p.m. Let's see. You do need to check the announcements part. Anytime I need to email you or send you something, I will put it on announcements. When I put videos up, I will put it in the announcements section and also send you an email link. There is a Cyber Cafe Q&A forum on the discussion board, and if you've had me in class before, you know what that's about. But basically, if you have a question that might benefit the whole class, then you can put it on this discussion board, and I will try to address it as soon as possible. But if you know the answer to a question, then you feel free to jump in and answer one of your peers' questions. Here's some information about me. I do have experience in K-12, and I was also a librarian for a while. I earned my master's degree actually from NSU in this very program, so I was exactly where you all not too long ago, and then I just finished my PhD at OSU in educational technology. So there's some information about me you can read if you would like. Here's my office phone number, my office location, and my email address. This is my preferred way of communication. I check my email pretty frequently. If you leave me a voicemail on my phone, then I won't get it till I'm back in the office again. So I'm only in the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and definitely between 12:30 and 2:30, but oftentimes I'm here earlier. So if you want to meet with me earlier, we can do that. So my online office hours are Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to noon. So I'll be online, where you should feel pretty confident that you'll get a response from me pretty quickly if you send me an email, things like that. We can also meet via Zoom, which is just a virtual meeting space, and you have access for that through NSU. So if you want to meet from the comfort of your own home or your office at school, then just let me know and I can send you a link and we can talk virtually. If we go to the, let's see if there's, so here's just a little bit of information on the announcements. I put up one message already, and that's when I made the course live. I have made some changes since then, which includes the syllabus. So if you printed off the syllabus, I apologize. I did update a few things, and I've updated some things in the modules. So there has been some changes. So if you see something different from something that you printed versus what I have on there now, it's been done within the last couple of days. Let's go ahead and look at the syllabus. And you can find that under the syllabus tab. And this is the newest. So if you click on it, it will upload that. Let's go ahead and I have it open, so I'll bring it on over here. Here's the CRN, the title. All my information is on here. This is a completely online class. You have to be admitted to Graduate College to take this course. Here is a catalog description of the course, purpose and goals, and I'm not going to go over all this. You can read this on your own. So here are the standards, student learning outcomes. And what's great about this is here's a student learning outcome, and here are the assignments that address that outcome. So you can look at those things that address each one of those. That's where the assignments fit into the outcomes. Strategies, we are going to do online research, communication. You'll read professional journals. You'll have project presentation. So you do need to check back very, very frequently. Grading is going to be based on these points, and I also put a due date on these. Sometimes my due dates on my schedule do not match up with the due dates that I have on the Blackboard site. If that happens, please let me know first of all, and I can change it on the Blackboard site. But the due dates in the syllabus are what you go off of. So if, let's say, the grant is due February 16th, but in this Blackboard it says it's due the 14th. We're going to stick with what the syllabus says and make it the 16th. Okay. So here are these are the assignments, activities that you're going to be doing. These are the amount of points that each one are worth. And in order to get an A in this course, you have to get at least 93% of these points. So here's a discussion on each of the assignments and activities that will be coming due. I also have these in another place on Blackboard. The grant project, this is a new project that Dr. Carney and I felt would be a great addition to this course because we've had some feedback from previous candidates that said that they would like to learn more about that. So it is a new assignment and I am still working on it. I will get it done as soon as possible along with the rubric and put it on Blackboard for you. But for now, there is a little bit of information just to get you started, but I will give more soon. The one-sheet copyright, that is also a new assignment, and actually this is going to be facilitated through an open educational resource, which means that what I did here is I gave you a website, a crash course, actually a link to that, and it is an OER, an open educational resources, so it is free for us to use. This actually takes the place of a book that students used previously and bought previously, which I think was like a $45 book. So this was done in an attempt to save you a little bit of money, but also offer you a high quality resource that you can use and you can come back to it. And you can use it with your teachers in the future. So this provides a link to that. Also, there are links in other places in the syllabus and also in your module when we do that. So each of these has information on this. You will work on a listserv, which I'll give you more information about that soon in a separate video. And you will also be using Twitter. So if you already have a Twitter account, that's great. You can use it. Or if you want to set up a different Twitter account for professional purposes, then you can do that as well. If you do not have a Twitter account and you're unfamiliar with it, I'm going to create a video that walks you through how to set up a new Twitter account. So you'll be able to do that. But we are going to be interacting with an Okla Ed chat, which is a very widely used. It's one of the top most used educational chats on Twitter in the nation. So I'll give you an opportunity to work in that and to connect with some other people in the field through Twitter. These are just for your professional learning networks. So I want to get you working on that and thinking about those. Your big project for this is the facility redesign, and you will be getting information about that. It's all here, but we'll discuss it in more depth later on. The textbook that you will be using is a new textbook, actually. It was just published on November 27th of 2017, so it's only been out about a month and a half. You may not have that textbook yet. It looks like this. The Tahlequah Library got a few, and they sent us over a couple to the Broken Arrow campus, but they're already gone. So if you did not get one, I'm going to make copies of the first couple chapters for you and put on here, but you do need to make sure that you get access to a book. You can buy it at the bookstore. Hopefully they'll be coming in soon. But I will take care of make sure you have the first couple chapters so you can get working on that. And then there are links to other things that you will be needing. Here's again the crash course. And then I will give you other articles to read, but they will all be linked in the modules. Here's the grading scale that I mentioned earlier. If you want an A, you have to get at least 93% of the points. If you want a B, you have to get at least 85% of the points, and so forth. Here are the expectations for an A, a B, a C paper. Here are the assignment policies. Need to be typed, double-spaced. Everything will be uploaded through Blackboard, so I will grade them from there. If you have a Mac, then you need to convert it into something that we will be able to read like a doc. So I can't open Pages from my computer. Your assignments have to be original, not recycled or previously submitted. So for example, if you did a community analysis for one class, you cannot use the same analysis for another class. I do send everything through SafeAssign, so there is a plagiarism checker, and it does even check your work against your own previous work. So make sure that everything is new for new assignments. Here's a plagiarism policy. Please do not plagiarize. I mean, we're in the library media program. We are supposed to be the ones teaching our peers or our colleagues about copyright issues and plagiarism and things like that. So let's go ahead and work on being a good model for that. Attendance policy, it's an online course, but you are expected to maintain regular participation in the postings and discussion boards. So especially with the discussion boards, if you don't do your work, it's really difficult for other students in your group to do their work because they have to respond to others in your group. So if that happens to you, someone in your group, if you're in a group and they don't respond and you're waiting and waiting and waiting, just let me know, and I'm not going to hold you accountable for what they're not doing. So just let me know that you can't respond to 2 people because 2 people in your group haven't responded, or whatever the case may be. So just keep me informed of that situation. Late work. This is a huge one, so please pay attention to this. Please go back and reread it. I have issues with this every single semester, and I am not just a straight line, no late work, but I do have rules for me to be able to accept late work for you. And if you do not follow those rules, your late work will not be accepted. So I want you to submit everything on time. That's very important. But if there is a special circumstance that prohibits you from getting that accomplished, then contact me prior to the due date. So before the 11:59 p.m. deadline on whatever day the assignment is due, contact me before then. If you let me know the situation, and if it's a special circumstance such as, you know, an extreme illness or a death in the family or an accident, something like that, I can make arrangements for you. I will give you permission. So let's look right here where I am. You will always lose 10% of your final grade. So even if I give you permission, you'll lose 10% of the points. But it's better than a 0. So if I do grant you an extension, it is your responsibility to place a note in the add comments section, and I'll show you where that is in a minute. So you are responsible to put an add comment or a note in there, and what the note should say: the date of correspondence between the student and instructor, as well as the method of correspondence, and extension date granted, and the reason for extension. So for example, you email me on March 26th. I say, yes, I'll give you an extension until the 28th, and then you'll put the reason for the extension. So this would be a great example that you would just place in the note. It's really quick, but the issue that I keep having is that I have had so many students ask for extensions, and I'm giving them to them, but it gets difficult when I'm going through and I'm grading to remember the date that I gave them till and things like that. So I need you all to help me keep track of your late work, and that's just to ensure that I don't give you a 0 when you really should have at least got 90% of your, or potentially got 90% of your points. So it says this is solely your responsibility, and it is a requirement that has to be fulfilled for you to be able to earn a partial credit for the assignment you turn in late. If this is not in the notes or add comment section, I'm not going to accept the late work. So you have a couple of responsibilities. You need to contact me prior to the assignment due date, and then you need to make sure that you give me a note to remind me that we did talk, I did give you permission, and this is the due date that I gave it to you by. So that will just help me alleviate errors. Questions about that, please give me a call or shoot me an email. So these are the policies. Talking about misconduct, you can go to this website and you can read more in depth about those. This is the university policies. And here is the tentative schedule. So this is tentative. It may change, but if it is changed, I will change it, put an announcement on the board or on the announcements page and let you know that it has been changed. So here's week 1, focus 1, and really these things go together, the focus and the weeks, but when I do the discussion board, I always say focus 3 for them or something like that. So that's why those two things are there. This is the beginning date of the week. So during this week, you know you have to do the introduction for them by January 12th is the Friday. So remember I told you the Friday is when the discussion boards are due, and then Monday are the responses. And now if you're watching this, you've already got this done. So start here. We've kind of looked at that together. You'll need to reread the syllabus, look at the schedule, which I'm going over now. I'm not going to go over in depth. And then go ahead and read Wools and Coatney in the chapter this week. So I will get chapter 1 and chapter 2 posted, and so you will have these for the next couple weeks, but hopefully you'll be able to get your book by the second week. If something happens and you still don't have a textbook, let me know, and I could potentially go as far as week 3. But by week 3, you should definitely have your books one way or another. So this tells you what's due. So next week there's going to be a reading response due, and you can find the directions to each reading response in the module. So we'll look at module 2 and you'll see the directions to this. This is where I'm kind of, the due dates may or may not match up with the reading responses. I just put C, tentative schedule. But let's see, for example, grant project is your first big assignment that's due, and that's due by February 16th. So this is pretty self-explanatory if you go through here and look at that. Things that are like this, those are articles that I will have in your module for you. So they're just links to modules. This right here is when you're going to do your copyright crash course. If you notice, you begin this March 12th and it's due by March 18th. So if you want to go ahead and look at this and begin this earlier, you are more than welcome to do so. If you do submit something earlier than the due date, I will not grade it until the due date or after that. So I had one student last semester get quite a bit of her assignments completed and submitted early, but I waited until the due date to grade all of them. So we do have spring break, 19th to 23rd, and there's nothing due. So you can look through here. The finals week, our finals week is April 30th. And I'm having you have everything submitted by that date, by Monday. Okay? And again, hopefully when you talk to either Dr. Carney or myself about the program, you remember talking about the field experiences. So field experiences are due in every single library media course we have. You will have to conduct 15 hours of field experience, and that's you use those 15 hours to help you complete your assignments. So there are some things that you will need to go into a library and talk to a librarian about, like the facility redesign would be something that you go in and you look at the facility, you talk with the librarian, you'll be getting collection or different policies, selection policies, challenge material policies, things like that. And you can talk to librarians about that also. But you get those 15 hours by going into a library and discussing those things with a librarian or working with a librarian on those things. There's a form that you're going to fill out for that, and you'll submit it towards the end of this semester. You do have to get at least 15 hours, and you do have to work with a certified librarian. So if you're currently in a library right now, you can't really do your own library unless you consult with a certified librarian about that. So make sure that you get a connection with a certified librarian. Anything that I change on the syllabus, I will let you all know. So, but for now, this is the way it's going to be set up. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. Give me a call. Let's go ahead and go back to our Blackboard site. If you look here, I have an assignments tab. So if you look in the listserv journals, this gives you information about each listserv that you're going to do. Okay. And then social media, professional learning network, this gives you directions on that. These are just, this area is just for the information on those. So I also included the reading response directions for your reading response here, but I also put them in their learning modules, and you'll see those. Here's the information about the grant planning project that I said that you would get more information on. So I'm going to try and find lists of grants that are available so you can go to these specific places and work on the grants through there. This is another thing that you're going to talk with your library mentor about, that you're going to talk to them about a need that they have, and you'll write a grant to help them try and facilitate that need. This isn't something that you are necessarily going to submit. If you want to submit it with the help of your certified librarian, that'd be great. If you get it, even better. Here's more information about the copyright crash course. I am going to be talking to you more about that because I'd like the opportunity to maybe have you all openly license the material that you create for this assignment, and that way we can share it with other people, and it's still licensed. It's a kind of a copyright, but it's an open license, so it can be shared. And I'll talk to you more about open educational resources at a later time. And then again, here's information for your big facility redesign. Here's information in rubric. Here's a field experience, so you can look, this is the document that you work on, and here's the ethical digital literacy presentation that you'll be using or be doing. Okay, upload assignments. We're going to delete that because I replaced the grant or the brochure assignment from this course with the grant assignment, so you won't have that. So here you will just upload your field experience. So if you click on that, it tells you due date, how many points are possible. Right here is your comments section. So if I gave you an extension on this assignment, this is where you would write, we talked on March 26, 2018 via email. You told me that I could have until March 28, 2017 to complete this or to submit this assignment because of a death in my family. This right here is where you would submit that. Most of the time the best way actually for you all to submit a document is to write it in another, like a Word document or something, like save it and then upload it. When you use this right here, you write the submission and you just type it in. So let's see. So here you write the submission and you just type it in here. I am unable to give you feedback and comments directly on the paper. So it's really helpful when I can, click an area and talk to you about that specific area. I can't do that when you write submission. So please don't do that. Please instead attach the file for me, because that will be very, very helpful. So if you click in here, this is the Upload Assignments tab. You'll see 3 different places to upload. You'll upload your listserv journal 1 here, your 2 here and there. I just put them in folders in here to help save a little bit of space. And there are your reading responses. So that's Upload Assignments. Everything is put into learning modules. This one is just there, so it's not linked. But Let's go ahead and look at week 2. It begins January 15th. Here's our focus. Here's the chapter that you're going to read, reflection, the assignment that's due, and this is just kind of something to think about. And your reading response is due week 2, so here again is that information. It's redundant. It's the same information from the assignments tab, but I just have it here to make it easier for you to see. So once you type this out in a document, you will save it and then you'll upload it to that file. You do have some discussions, so let's look at that. Here is the Cyber Q&A Cafe that I talked to you about. If you want to subscribe to this, which I do, you'll get an email or a notification when someone posts, so you always know what people are asking questions about. And again, please feel free to answer if you know the answer, because sometimes I can't get to it as quickly as need to. Here's the introductions. Looks like a few of you have already created those. I look forward to going in and reading those. This is a fairly small class, so I did not make groups for these. I want you to just read multiple of them and you can respond to any two, okay? You need a minimum of 4 total posts for each discussion board. So that's your original post, which you should put first by Friday at 11:59, and then 2 responses to your peers, any peers you want, and then someone respond back to you, you'll respond back to them. If no one has responded to you, then just go back and respond to another peer. So you should always have 4 posts. And that's just a minimum. If you want to carry on the conversation, that's great. What's another thing that's really important is to cite from your chapters. So you need to look back at your readings and use your readings to help you with your answers, help you develop your answers. This is important. This is part of the rubric, and I will always be looking for some kind of citation. You do not have to give me like a formal reference at the end. You do need to do some kind of like parenthetical citations or in-text citations. So if it's Wools, you'll do Wools 2017 page 4 or whatever in your parentheses inside your text. So make sure that I can see that you have used our readings, the articles or the book, it doesn't matter. And then down here, I do want you to share your ethical and digital presentation just so other people can see it. And if hopefully, if you don't mind, that they could use it if they need to, if they want to do a presentation in their library. So this is going to be specifically for students. You will create a presentation for them to, like not plagiarize or digital safety or something like that. So that's, I want you to post it there. There, you don't have to respond to others. I just want other people to be able to see what you did. So remember, no groups. You're just going to be reading everyone's. And then lastly, here are just some important information. When you do your listserv, you can come here and you just get to start reading some of these and then do the assignment as I've described it. So you can go right there. You do not have to subscribe to the listserv unless you want to get just inundated with a lot of correspondence. You're more than welcome to if that's something that you really enjoy, but you do not have to subscribe. You can just come to this link and you can start looking through here. This only goes to 2010, so let's see, you can actually go on the archives here and you can look most recent archives, and this might be something a little more relevant and current for you. So some rubrics. Do look at the discussion board rubric, because one point that is often overlooked is that you need to respond to people by their names. Sometimes when I'm reading all these and you get all these threads, it gets confusing to who you're talking to, for me and for the people you're talking to. So let's look at this real quick. Right here, posting addresses peers by name and indicates a thoughtful and critical analysis of other statements. So you need to try and extend the conversation. You don't have to sign it, your name at the bottom of it, but do put a student's name that you are responding to in the post. So please come here and look at what is required. That's in the important links, docs, and rubrics. We're going to edit and delete this because we're not doing the brochure. I didn't want you to get overwhelmed. Here's facility redesign. Here's a template that you can use. And I did want to mention real quick that if you look at the modules, I've only gone to week 10. I'm still working on the rest. If you all want to work up until that point, or if you know that there's an assignment, you know, like if you read the ethical digital presentation assignment and you want to work on that because that's not due till later, you're more than welcome to do that. But I only have through week 10, which gets us to through the week before spring break. So everything after spring break I have not put on there yet, but I will be getting to that. I'll be working on it kind of gradually as we go. So I think that's a really brief and quick overview. If you have questions for me, please let me know. But again, I'm going to be creating you some additional videos in the future to go over with you things like the Twitter and the open educational resources and things like that. So don't think that I'm just leaving you here and you're on your own. I will be communicating with you more, and I welcome any questions that you have. Please do not sit at home frustrated or nervous without having communicated with me, because I don't want you to get upset or frustrated early on. Just let me know what I can do for you, how I can help you, and I'm more than willing to take the time to do that. So I look forward to working with you, and I hope you all have a great semester.